I have created the letter S in many, many different ways, trying to come up with the easiest and most effective way. I have compared a lot of letter S's in professional fonts. I have tried designing them in shapes, or using shapes to design them, using guides, creating these guides. I've tried stacking circles on top of each other. I've tried adding stems to those circles. And this method that I'm going to show you now is my new favorite method. It is still going to take practice and experimentation and a lot of cleanup work. So let's start with a pencil. So we have our pencil tool, and the pencil needs a stroke and no fill. Right now it doesn't really matter how thick the width of that stroke is going to be. Let's go 3 points. And you can do this in several ways. You can be very meticulous with the grid. So for instance, you can come in here and really try to use your grid very cleanly. Now you can see there's a lot of these points in here, and that's going to make it really hard to work with. You could be a little bit more quick about it as well. So if we double click the pencil, you can see here's the fidelity. So let's make it as smooth as humanly possible. So now when we design, you can zoom in and you can see that there are much fewer points. And you can see that it is cleaner and smoother. So you can be very meticulous and count your grid squares. Or you can be faster about it. So I would say, experiment with many different ways. In fact, make them fairly quickly. See, this one's nice except for that hard edge. Sometimes you could come in here and clean that up with the Convert Anchor Point tool, or even a smooth tool. But my first suggestion would be just to make a bunch, faster and slower. Hey, that one looks pretty good. So, make 15, 20, whatever it takes. And of course, in Illustrator, we can zoom in and we can select something and make it larger. So once you find the letter S that you want to work with, let's take this one. Right, we can copy it. I'm going to turn off that layer with all of our S outtakes and add a new layer and hit paste. And now I can hold down the Shift key and make that a little bit larger. So once you have the basic shape that you want your S to be, then what you do is you come in here, you select it with the solid arrow, you get the stroke palette out, select it, the solid arrow, and let's make your stroke. Now we can see this part curves a little too fast, perhaps. I'm going to change the color of my baseline so it shows up a little bit better against the black. Because we're still just having a stroke on a line, we can come in here and we can still make changes fairly easily. Of course, the thing that we're really concerned with is keeping it as smooth as possible. We can also come in here and rotate if it doesn't feel balanced. We can rotate that. So we are changing the kind of overall of the major look of our S. Once that's clean and we like that, we come in here, we got the black arrow, pull down the object menu to expand. And so now this is an object instead of a fill. We can prove that by switching the fill and the stroke. Now, of course, we can do a lot more tweaking. Right? We can come in here with the white arrow and we can adjust kind of the inside if we like. We could come in here with a bunch of different techniques. We could get the ellipse tool. Let me switch that back. We can always come in here and get a circle tool and use that with the Pathfinder if we wanted to cut into it a little bit more. So you have a bunch of options to thin out some of these lines. The other thing you will probably want to do is go back to our serif, templates, and we can, if you're designing a serif font, we can get one of your serif templates from one of our other letters. This is from the letter N, and use scale or whatever techniques you want to fit that. Going to get it as close as possible. Of course, knowing that once we Pathfinder these together, we might still have to come in with the minus pen tool. Not that one. So we may still have to come in and make some adjustments. But you can see it's already starting to look very much like the letter S. So this is a good start on your S. Good luck with that, and have fun tweaking and cleaning your letters.